Hello, I'm Jane from Loopy's Place and I'm coming to you from my studio here in Sheffield. When we started the community classes a couple of terms ago, one of the projects, one of the things that they wanted to do was buttonholes. I think buttonholes along with zips is one of those things that has a lot of fear around it, and if you give yourself time to practice, you realise it's not as difficult as it seems. I don't use buttonholes a lot because I concentrate on quilting. It's not something that I tend to do very often. In fact, it's been many years since I have done buttonholes, so I have spent a bit of time practicing. Now, when you're setting up your machine, it's a good idea to have some scrap fabric around where you can practice. Make sure you're happy with the weight of the stitching and with the size, so that you can adjust it before doing it on your item of clothing. These days a lot of machines will do buttonholes automatically. And now my machine is a quilter machine but has a buttonhole foot, and it means that you can put your button in the end and it will do the buttonhole to suit. Now, even though it does that, as I said, it's a good idea to practice just to make sure that the hole has enough give in it with the fabric so that you can do your buttons up easily, but not too easily that they slip undone. So I'll show you how to do it. As we said, we've got this foot that has this adjustable piece at the back. If I just move that out. The other day I was doing a buttonhole and I needed it bigger, so I just adjusted the back. So this bit here at the back of your machine, back of your buttonhole foot is adjustable. So that means that you can adjust for different size buttons. I didn't have a specific button, but I just needed a large buttonhole, so I just extended it as full as it went and used that. If you've got buttons that you want to fit, you can just slip it in there and you're going to slide that back and you'll see that it holds it in place. That means then this part of your foot can adjust and stop when it needs to for your button. That just fits onto your machine. This is the front, you can see a bar there, and that just fits onto the bar bit here. I'm just going to place it underneath, and there we go. I can lift it and lower it there, making sure that the thread isn't caught in there. Let's go to setting up the machine. So if you've got your manual, it will give you lots of useful information on how best to set up your machine. This is my buttonhole setting. So I've got that in the window. With my machine, every time that you want to do a new buttonhole, you need to take it out of there and reset it. So you can turn it on to the one before, the one after, and it resets. I've got my stitch width as far as it will go on here. So that's going up to the 6. That gives you a nice width of your stitches. Again, check your machine and practice first. This is just above 0, so I can get a nice amount of stitching in to secure my buttonhole here. You don't want it to spread out because it will begin to fray in between. And you notice here how one side is stitching heavier than the other. I do have a button here that I can adjust, so if one side's stitching heavier, I can adjust that. So do check your manual for your machine to see how it fits. The other reason why it's good to practice is you can follow through the machine, see how it does the process so that you're aware if there's any problems or not. My machine starts at the bottom of the stitch of the buttonhole and works to the top. So just check with yours whether that does the same. So here I've just got another practice piece. I don't really need any buttonholes. I'm just purely for demonstration purposes. So I'm going to put this in and we can see how it goes. So I'm just going to put my thread down, and then Just one more setting to do before I start. Now this is where you're going to need to check your machine as well. If I don't do this, my buttonhole won't work. So there's a lever just here at the back. See that? I need to pull that right down, and it sits behind this bit of my buttonhole foot. If I don't do that, it doesn't do my buttonhole. So check your machine to make sure that it's set up right. So all I need to do is press my foot down on the foot. So that's the bottom. Now it's doing the top, and we're coming back down the other side. Now your machine may stop automatically, mine should, but it doesn't. But once it starts over stitching on that bit at the bottom, do a couple of stitches and then I can lift it up. And there I've stitched my buttonhole. Just need to get rid of that thread there. I should have held that out of the way so it's been stitched in. I'm just going to get rid of that loop. So now I need to open my buttonhole. So I'm just going to get a couple of pins. Okay, so you could freehand this, but it would probably make you cry if you cut into bits at the end. This stitching over the end is to stop it from coming apart. So I am just going to slip my pin through there and back out the other side, just level with the end of the stitching, and to do the same at the other end, and that just gives you a stop so that you don't cut into your stitches. And then just using a seam ripper, just do it gently, just so that you're right in the centre of your stitches and that you're not cutting into those stitches on either side. And that pin there is stopping me from going too far. And I just come this side, and there we go. Take my pins out. So there's my buttonhole. So I'm just going to take my button off the buttonhole foot, and I'm just going to check that that works. There we go. Perfect. So as I said, give it a practice first on some scrap fabric so that you can do it with confidence. Mark your buttonholes and then let your machine do the work. Don't forget to check your manual's details for help for your particular machine. So the machine I've been using is the Quilter's Companion 6019, the Janome, and the information in the booklet was very helpful in setting up the machine. I hope you found that useful. If you have, give it a go. Look forward to seeing your buttonholes. I'll be back soon with some more helpful hints and tips. In the meantime, make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so that you get the notifications when new information comes up. I look forward to speaking to you very soon, but in the meantime, take care. Bye for now.